So guys, today I'm going to be reacting to, it's right there, hold up, suspected YouTube HQ shooter dead.
Gunfire and terror at YouTube headquarters in California. New information still is coming in, but we now know the shooter was a woman. Police say she's dead, and multiple people are wounded. The suspect's motive still unclear. I'll talk about that story much more with Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal, and our correspondents and analysts are all standing by. Let's get first to our national correspondent, Miguel Marquez, who's tracking the late-breaking developments for us on this YouTube shooting. What are you learning, Miguel?
Well, it was in the lunch hour when the shots started. The 911 call started to go into the San Bruno police. It was a cafeteria area, an outdoor patio area where that shooting began. And within minutes, there was a massive police presence on scene, as well as emergency services. Then it was a bit of chaos with very heavily armed police moving into the YouTube headquarters. Over 1,000 employees there. That 1,000 employees were trying to get out of the YouTube headquarters at the same time. Within an hour or so, they had set up triage areas. The law enforcement pace seemed to have lessened just a bit. Here is what the San Bruno police chief, how he described the timeline.
At 12:46 p.m. this afternoon, San Bruno Police Department received numerous 911 calls regarding gunshots at the YouTube campus located on Cherry Avenue in our city. San Bruno Police arrived on scene at 12:48 and immediately began a search for a possible shooter or suspect. Upon arrival, officers encountered numerous employees fleeing from the building. It was very chaotic, as you can imagine. We did encounter one victim with an apparent gunshot wound towards the front of the business as we arrived. Several minutes later, while conducting a search of the premises, officers located a second individual with a gunshot wound that appears to may have been self-inflicted. We are still working on confirming that. Two additional victims were located several minutes later at an adjacent business. The extent of all of the injuries of our victims are unknown right now. They were all transported for emergency medical care, but they are all unknown. So if I missed that, we have 4 victims who have all been transported for gunshot-related injuries, and we have one subject who is deceased inside the building with a self-inflicted wound that at this time we believe to be the shooter, but we're still following up on that.
And we do have a little bit more information on those victims. One was a 32-year-old female. She's in serious condition. A 27-year-old female who is in fair condition, and a 36-year-old male who is in critical condition. All of them have been transported to San Francisco General Hospital. We also know that Stanford Hospital received several individuals from this scene as well, but it is not clear if they were victims of gunshot wounds or if they were just injured in that mass evacuation from YouTube headquarters. Wolf?
Pretty terrifying incident when you hear gunshots like that at that campus.
Imagine Donald Trump looking at that.
Law enforcement analyst Josh Campbell, he's a former FBI supervisory special agent. Josh, how rare is it that this was a female workplace shooter?
Wolf, is very rare. If you look back over the last 2 decades, the FBI actually did a study from 2000-2013 at the number of shootings, the mass shootings they call it in the United States. And of 160 that they identified, only 6 of them were perpetrated by a female attacker. So it's something that's extremely rare. Obviously, there are so many questions that we have right now as far as any possible relationship between the shooter and her victim. Did they know each other? 2 questions I have, and we'll learn this as we hear from witnesses and as the CCTV within the building is analyzed and possibly released, is what was the TikTok here? Did the person go in? Was there conversation between the shooter and the victims, or did she just go and start shooting? Secondly, a big question for me is, did she take her life immediately after the shooting, or did she take her life when confronted by law enforcement? And that's something that's going to be key. I don't think, as we've talked about over the last hours, we've been watching this, that it appears at least to be some type of terrorism. It doesn't look that way because you don't see that mass loss of life and it accomplishes big Obviously, that's something that we look to. So many questions unanswered. We'll continue to ping our law enforcement forces in order to gather information and report back to you.
Yeah, it doesn't look like terrorism. The FBI issued a statement saying San Bruno Police is the lead agency at this time, although they're helping. If it was terrorism, the FBI would be in charge. How long, Josh, will it take for police to clear this scene?
It's going to be a massive effort. If you look at the size of the compound, and obviously in hearing from the police chief there, he indicated that, different victims were found in different places. So as they go through to methodically textbook response, they're going to be looking for additional threats. But also in this case, they're going to be looking for additional victims. Are there other people out there that maybe they just don't know about yet? Again, probably highly unlikely, but it's got to be something that they really focus on going from each side of the building, throughout the building, floor to floor, in order to ensure that they are fully confident that there are no more threats and there are no more victims before they give the all clear.
Does it sound like a workplace violence incident that just happened to be taking place over at YouTube headquarters?
It certainly suggests that. I mean, if you look at these facilities, these tech companies, which, I was in the FBI, I would liaise with a lot of them. I mean, these are buildings with large security presence. I mean, there is controlled access as far as coming and going. You can't just walk in off the street and walk into a YouTube cafeteria. So that suggests to me that this person at least had some purpose for being there, which obviously was legitimate in a place of business, and it doesn't look like she was going and shooting just to kill victims indiscriminately. But again, a lot of these questions will get solidified from the witnesses, and we see some of that security footage.
All right, Josh, I'm going to have you stand by. We're getting a statement in from Google, the parent company of YouTube. Let me read it to our viewers. We continue to actively coordinate with local authorities and hospitals. Our security team has been working.
We continue to actively. Okay, I want to watch.
Authorities to evacuate the buildings and ensure the safety of employees in the area. That statement just coming in from Google. Security team has been statement in from Google, the parent company of YouTube. Let me read it to our viewers. We continue to actively coordinate with local authorities and hospitals. Our security team has been working closely with authorities to evacuate the buildings and ensure the safety of employees in the area.
If you guys want to read it, you can pause the video.
From Google, President Trump, we are now told, has been briefed on the YouTube shooting. He tweeted about it just a little while ago. I want to go to our chief White House correspondent, Jim Acosta. Jim, what's the reaction from the White House?
Yeah, that's right, Wolf. The president did issue a tweet just in the last several minutes saying he has been briefed on the situation out in California. We can put that up on screen. The president, in addition to that, offering his thoughts and prayers to everybody involved and thanking law enforcement and first responders that are on the scene. But Wolf, in terms of this administration's participation in all of this, it sounds like at this point they're leaving it to local authorities out there in California.
Peace out. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.